Right, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit if you want to try this Drew Carriage 2-to-1 clear, 5 liters, and what is this, 2.5? So you get a lot of clear for in the $100 range. I'm not sure what it was. You can check with them online, pause it, give them a call, find out what the deal is with that. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the times and stuff like that with this and how it worked. It did feel like to me like it's definitely a medium solids clear. It's not a high solids at all, but it does go on really, really smooth, really nice, really thick, a very small amount of shrinkage. Definitely a tolerable amount of both. I mean, a lot of the cheaper clears, you have to buff them because they shrink so much that you know that you have to buff it out in order for it to look good. This stuff you could spray it on and leave it; it would look really, really smooth. Um, but if you do buff it, you definitely want to wait. You can color sand the next day, open it up, and that helps to keep it let it dry a little quicker. But you're going to find it loading up in your paper a little bit. Second day, possibly you could do the color sand. I did mine on the first day after, but second day you could probably do it. Third day, it sands really easy. I had to do some touch-ups, and after 3 days, it sands really nice. Still not too bad, but it's not. It's a little harder to sand. It's just a little bit. It's a little bit faster to sand the first day, but it does load up on the paper quite a bit. So, but if you go ahead and buff it, you can buff it the next day. I mean, I don't know what it does with accelerator. I haven't tried that yet. Possibly, if you use accelerator, you could do a next day buff on it, 24-hour. But I actually was able to buff it, but it was very ginger. You had to be really, really, really careful with it. That was with 3 coats of clear, so you had to go really, really careful, and you did get some small burns in it. So you got to be really, really careful trying to buff it early. But it did polish out and hold its shine. So those are the things. A lot of people, that's the main thing. Is you can sit there and if you burn it a little bit, you can just sand that little spot out and then rebuff it after a few minutes, let it kind of settle again, and rebuff it, and you can get it done the next day, and it'll hold its shine on those areas pretty well, especially with the CSI rubbing compound. So anyway, 2 days. I want to say I'm not sure if this is actually better than the 4-to-1. A lot of guys say that this is a better system than the 4-to-1. Their 4-to-1 is really awesome. I thought that, in my opinion, the 4-to-1 didn't shrink quite as much as even this stuff. And there was very little shrinkage with this. So the 4-to-1, I thought, is a little bit maybe better clear as far as solids go, but I'm not sure. There's so little difference that it's really not worth arguing over. But so if the reason I bought the 2-to-1 is because I was painting a large vehicle, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough clear because I didn't want to run out of the 4-to-1 and not quite make it. So I thought, well, if I get the 2-to-1 for sure, I should have enough an extra. It's about an extra, almost a quart, half a quart. So you can go a lot further with this. So if you got a large vehicle, this works out really nice. But yeah, it's a great clear for the price. You really can't go wrong. So if you're looking at painting a larger vehicle and you're in SoCal, some of you guys back east, you can get stuff so much cheaper, and the VOC limits are better back there. But if you just don't want to guess, this clear does work really well and goes on really nice. So you could order it in from anywhere and put it on. It does definitely. It doesn't like when let me tell you the difference real quick between a cheap clear and a good clear. A couple things. There's a lot of differences, but one of them the big differences are shrinkage is number one. You don't want to clear that shrinks a lot. Okay, number two, you don't want to clear with a lot of solvents in it, because if you get a run, the 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 cheap clears that you get a run in them, what happens is it turns white, and then you got to repaint that area. You're gonna have to go ahead and sand it down and rebase that spot, and then re-clear that, to fix the run. Well, who wants to do that when you fix a run? This stuff doesn't do that. The runs are super clear. You can just sand them down and fix them, because everybody wants, oh, I never get any runs, and you're not putting it on heavy enough. Every once in a while you're going to get one. If you're a good painter, every good painter I know, guys, they say I'd rather have a small run somewhere to fix, than they would have orange peel. So that's almost every painter that I know says that same thing. And maybe you're not one of the painters I know, and maybe you know different. So anyway, but anyway, those are that's a little bit about this clear. Definitely wait 3 days on the buffing. This was in a colder climate, colder air. It was around average temperature of the day. Gets up to about 70. We had, cold at night. It was about 40 at night. So if you're back east, you may have to adjust for that. And in the summer, it might be these kind of numbers that I'm talking about, 3 days. It might be longer if you're in the winter back east. So anyway, and this is with this medium activator. I guess they have different ones, but I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I just grabbed the one that they had that was next to it. On this clear, I'm not familiar. I know that the other one, they have a couple different ones. So anyway, that's a little bit about this clear. It worked really well. If you want to try it, give it a shot. Talk to you in the next video.